It's not just in football that Mexico is superior to Germany. First ladies speak out on Trump's separation policy. Women sustain half of Mexico's economy but earn crippling wages. And Dunkin' Donuts will reach 100 stores in Mexico thanks to millennials. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm Elliot Bullman. Let's go to the information. Until Sunday's heroic and historic victory, Mexico had not had much to cheer about in footballing terms against Germany. But now, whilst Germany is left to lick its wounds, Mexico is also rubbing salt in them by overcoming them in various industrial sectors, including beer production, tourism, and even in the number of engineers, according to data from both markets and what's been said by some national officials. In 2016, the Mexican beer industry became the fourth producer of this beverage in the world, surpassing Germany, and now seeks to overtake Brazil in approximately a decade. According to data from Brewers of Mexico, last year it reached a total production of 110 million hectoliters of beer, about 5% more than the 105 million hectoliters produced in 2016. The above strengthened this domestic market into fourth position. In a recent interview with television media, Mexico's Secretary of Tourism, Enrique de la Madrid, said that the Mexican tourism market rose to sixth place in 2017, one place above Germany, the United Kingdom and Thailand, with 39 million tourists. Now, Mexico is also in the top 10 of the countries with the highest number of graduates in engineering, manufacturing and construction. According to the 2015 Human Capital Report of the World Economic Forum, Mexico is now ranked 8th with 113,944 graduates per year, putting it above Germany, France and Vietnam. Moving on. The former US First Lady, Laura Bush, has condemned a controversial policy that splits up families who are illegally entering the country at the Mexican border. Writing in the Washington Post newspaper, she describes the separation of children from their parents as cruel, immoral, and heartbreaking. Her comments follow growing controversy over President Donald Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Earlier, Melania Trump also made a rare statement expressing her concern. Mrs. Trump hates to see children separated from their families, her spokeswoman said. Adults who try to cross the border outside of official entry points, many planning to seek asylum, are placed in custody and face criminal prosecution for illegal entry. As a result, hundreds of children and babies are now being housed in detention centres, including warehouses and converted supermarkets, and kept away from their parents. The First Lady's comments come amid growing alarm over the impact of the policy. President Donald Trump had previously tried to blame the policy on Democrats, but over the weekend, his Secretary of Homeland Security, Christian Nielsen, flat out denied that such a policy existed. She said, "We don't have a policy of separating families at the border, period." But the Department of Homeland Security does separate children from their parents at the border, and it's just put out a press release about it last Friday, explaining its new zero-tolerance policy for border crossers. In other headlines, as part of the #Digital Ambassadors program, consultancy firm Accenture Mexico invited the Mexican ambassador in India, Melba Priya, to give a teleconference from the company's offices in New Delhi to talk about the inclusion of women in paid work. According to the OECD, women in Mexico face one of the highest burdens of domestic work, undertaking about 80% of unpaid domestic tasks such as cooking, cleaning and family care, care of children, elderly or the disabled. Moreover, the research study, Getting to Equal 2018, conducted by Accenture Mexico, reveals that for every $258 that a man earns in the world, women earn only $100 for the same activity. That is less than 50%. The diplomat, currently ambassador of Mexico in 5 different countries, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives, explained that as a result of this, Mexico is losing, in addition to half of its workforce, about 24.2% of the gross domestic product in unpaid work, the equivalent of a quarter of national economic production. This is because Mexican women devote twice as much time to domestic work and home care, with 28.8 hours a week on average, while men only dedicate 12.4 hours. Commenting on these statements, the Director General for Accenture Mexico, Juan Sadurni, added that to encourage the gender gap to close, Mexican companies need to work on programs that facilitate the leadership and participation of women in the boards of directors, external communication, and among collaborators, and the implementation of a paternity leave with the aim of sharing responsibilities and benefits equally. In other news, the Dunkin' Donuts chain of cafes, where Sizzling Platter is one of the 3 operators in Mexico, wants to strengthen itself within the cafeteria market, for which it plans to reach 100 stores by 2024, with the help of the preference of consumers such as millennials mainly. The firm expects to close with 10 more outlets this year, including the 5 units already owned by the chain in Mexico City. In an interview, Guadalupe Sanchez, operations manager of Dunkin' Donuts, shared that the next opening will be in July of this year, near La Condesa, for which the company will invest 1 million pesos. New stores are also expected to open in Morelos, Hidalgo, Querétaro, and Jalisco. Sanchez confirmed that Dunkin' Donuts is aimed at all types of markets, but he believes that millennials are the company's potential customers. In the national territory, there are around 2,658 coffee shops, 11.5% more than those that existed 5 years ago. And it's expected that by 2021, that number will reach 2,988 units, according to Euromonitor International. Starbucks, which in Mexico operates Alsea, retains the crown within the national cafeteria market with 45.4% of the market share, according to the research agency. And finally, let's review the markets. The Mexican peso increased 0.54% to 20.61 from 20.50 in the previous trading session. On the other hand, the IPC Mexico decreased 0.59% to 46,661 from 46,939 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for your company. I'm Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.
Síguenos en nuestras redes sociales: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, solo por México News Network Televisión.